Do you realize? I don't know if you've seen it. It was a meme, and Chris Brown was like, the only versus battle he would do is Chris Brown against Chris Breezy.
Listen.
Listen, I felt that in my spirit, child.
Yes.
I say yes, honey, because I don't compete with
No.
nobody that I attach myself to. Well, not attached, but that I connect myself to. There's no competition.
What fucking for? Like, my thing is always like, you're not me. So I can never be like you. So if I was spending my whole life trying to be just like Jada Pinkett on her show, I would be a struggling bitch. Because
Right.
number one, I don't have no red table. And like, but that's not my shit. Like, this
Right.
is my show. Talking to women. I mean, I'll talk to fellas too as long as they're open. Because I
Right.
don't talk to anybody who, and actually I have a thing. I'll tell you about it whenever I cut off. I don't want to tell all my secrets now.
No, ma'am. We gotta keep
But
going.
I'm working on something there too because
Okay.
I want to mix it up a little bit. I think it'll be
Yeah.
fun, funny. So yeah. But I think, yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about, but I value you. And I appreciate it. And I'm so excited to be building a circle of women that I can trust. And I want to put it out there too. Like, I don't hate my sister. I love
Right.
her. I
Right.
love her so much. Like,
But
she
sometimes you
is
have
the
to love
person.
from a distance.
Yeah, I love her. But I know she is going to be who she is
Right.
because she has a refusal to shift. That is her thing. It don't have nothing to do with me. So
That's the same
I just,
dynamic I had with my birth mother.
yeah.
My birth mother, I've been around her majority of my life. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Because my maternal grandmother adopted me. And
Yeah.
so I know who she is. I know, we've had to be around each other and all these other good things. But ultimately, it's like, this is a toxic ass person.
Yeah.
And at some point, you just get tired. Enough is enough. And then, especially after I became a mother, and it's just like, girl, the nerve of you. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there
Hmm.
was a shift. At first, it was like, what did I do? The
Yeah.
whole Will Smith thing, why he don't want me situation. And then it's like, she was so cruel and mean and manipulative. Like, what did I do? Da da da. And then I became a mother.
Hmm.
And I was like, girl, the whole nerve of you.
Yeah.
Like when you look back on things and then you find out more information and then you are a mother. And it's
Yeah.
just like, for one, we are not the same.
No.
And then for
But
two,
remember,
it's like,
you're
I
not
don't
enough
hate you.
either.
Right. And it's just like, I don't hate you, but you finna get the fuck away from me. I mean,
Okay. You. Hey, I don't hate
I'm
you, but
sorry. Bleep that. Bleep that.
I will never.
But you gonna get away from me. You gonna
Yeah.
get away from me because I'm not finna deal with your shenanigans. Because let's be clear. I've been here my entire life. And I'm well aware of who did what, where, when, why, and how.
Hmm.
You never gave my mama a penny.
Yeah.
You ain't give her $1. You didn't come to now recital. You didn't come to now graduation. You didn't come to now sporting event. You didn't
Hmm.
come to anything in a supportive manner for me. And then you dragged my mother for filth at any opportunity. And
Hmm.
she did you a favor. The system was trying to take me. She kept me in the family.
What a blessing.
Right. And it's like, you have the nerve to act the way that you act. Like, how ungrateful. How the nerve. It's just the nerve that people have.
But that is
But it happened for
a
a reason.
mental illness.
Right.
That is an illness because it's like you refuse to acknowledge the pain that you inflicted on somebody else. You
Absolutely.
refuse to acknowledge your role in
Absolutely.
the tragedy that became whatever person. Not that you were a tragedy, you're not.
I totally agree with what you're saying. It's just, she will never, she's always the victim.
Yeah, they're
My,
always the
my
victim.
mama stole me from her. And, you know,
Thank God.
baby, there's paperwork in play. This is not the verbal adoptions, the whole little, oh, I'm gonna raise this baby as my own. No, baby, there's paperwork. They paid for me. They bought me fan square.
Okay.
Okay. Like that was a running gag with my dad. I was like, Daddy, you don't never tell me you love me. He said, I do. You know I love you. I was like, Daddy, how do I know if you never tell me? He said, I bought you. I got the receipt for you.
Okay.
So clearly I love you. I'm like, Daddy. Oh my God. But you can't argue with that though.
Oh,
Like he's country and he's
yeah.
super. But I get what he was saying because back in that time and even now, it's probably way more money now, but
Yeah.
it was a way more rigorous process back then, in 1980, whatever.
Yeah.
And way, super expensive for that time period. And then, with them being African American, it was like pulling teeth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even though I was her biological granddaughter, their biological grandchild, it was still, they gonna put them through the ringer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so it's just like it takes a lot to
Yeah.
say, in addition to this amount of money, I'm gonna go through this process because you deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I'm forever thankful to them for that because that says a whole lot. It's like I was telling my sister the other day. I said, I don't have any ill will towards that woman because I got put up for adoption. Life happens.
Hmm.
I've made decisions in my life that impact my children now that weren't born when I made the decision.
Yeah.
you know so it's not that. My problem is the decisions that she made and how she chose to interact with me
Moving forward after that.
moving forward. You made decisions to be ugly. You made decisions to be mean. You made decisions to be manipulative. You decided that at every turn, every opportunity, you chose to make a decision to do something negative and toxic instead of saying, you know what, I might cannot address her as my daughter, but I could at least be cordial.
Hmm.
You couldn't
Like
even
instead
do that.
of that, it's like the animosity she feels for you leaving her, even though it was not even first of all your choice, but also she did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like no one
I said
abandoned
that
you.
instead of like, if you had an issue with the fact that my mama wouldn't allow you to disrespect her, and for me to call both of y'all mama, because like I wish a person would think
Yeah.
they my child gonna call you mama and I'm the one doing the work. No, that's not how that's gonna happen. But
If you wanted to be her mother, you would have been her mother, man. Like
hello. And so it's like, I get it. You probably felt the way or whatever the case may be. Take it up with that person.
Mhm.
Address that person. But because you were so intimidated or so afraid, or because you realized the sheer idiocy and lunacy
Hmm.
behind saying something so idiotic to this woman who did you a pure solid.
Mhm.
Because she never filed child support either. Let's start there.
Wow.
Okay? Like, you were never obligated to anything, and you never offered to do anything,
Hmm.
and you caused more hell than anything. And
Yeah.
it's just like, I just, instead of you addressing that person, you want to take it out on an innocent party. That's not how life works, and I don't have to deal with this, and i'm
Absolutely
not
not.
I'm not going to deal with it.
Not
You
at
gotta
all.
go. Yeah, you gotta go. And I have not spoken to that woman since my mother's funeral. Well, we didn't speak then either,
Hmm.
but I haven't been in the same vicinity as her since 2011. And hopefully, if God permits, it'll continue.
I mean, it is tough. Like I think that's why it is kind of difficult for me to say that I can uh I mean, I'm not ever going to be fully healed from that
Right.
toxicity in that
Mm.
relationship because
It's
it's a
just too.
constant
It was
reminder.
ongoing. It was
Yeah,
a long time.
it right.
It's
And
in.
as long as I continue to have that interaction, she gonna try it because that's what she does. So it's
Exactly.
like I'm every week I'm like,
Right.
having to get my center because my family is so intertwined. But that's why I work really hard to keep my house and my home protected, safe, in a love zone. And that's why I work with my own kids to be like, we're not
Right.
going to do that in here. Because what I
Amen.
don't want is for them to have that same kind of toxicity. because that's not normal. Like my son said, "Oh, well, look at you and her." I'm like, that is not normal.
Right.
And I'm telling you, that is not the way you love people.
And
So
another
do
thing,
not.
and it's sad to say, but sometimes you have to cut off people
Mhm.
and not deal with them at all, regardless of the title that they hold.
Right.
Because if you held this title in high regard, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And if a person
Oh,
doesn't want to, it's like at a job. If they give you a job title and you don't live up to it, you don't keep that job title for very long.
right.
And it should be that way in all relationships
Absolutely.
because every relationship is a give and take and no situation is perfect. However, what you're not gonna do is come into my life and wreak havoc
Mm-hmm.
and then, dash away and
Dash away.
like skip along and like, oh, I came, I effed ish up and I'm leave. No, ma'am.